Are you thinking what I'm thinking? That's what I thought. We've got a new comment. It's going to be exciting. It's thrilling. It's mysterious. It's our good friend, DJ Laser Blue. He commented yesterday on a video I made called Norwood 3, Beard, Sunglasses, Best Combo Ever. And in that video, here's what he said, quote, "Nick, I challenge you to find a guy who's had a hair transplant and question his reasons and look at his outcome," end quote. I love it. Here's why it'll never happen, because I don't really know anybody in real life who has one, and it'd be a lot of work. But I think what would be more relevant to this channel and our learning process about hair loss is if I make this video right here to serve as a sounding board for people who have. I want to invite people who have had a hair transplant to put comments in here and tell us about their experience so that we can use this as sort of a, well, I gotta watch out for that truck. So we can use this video as an opportunity to learn from other people. So if you're watching this video right after I published it, this video is not that exciting. But if you come back later to this video in months to come, the goal is that we'll have plenty of comments from people who have had hair transplants, and they can tell us whether it went well or whether it didn't, whether they're happy about getting it or not. I've had a few people tell me in the course of me doing these videos that the best thing they ever did was get a hair transplant. As for me, I remain neutral on it as far as telling people whether they should or shouldn't. I know what I would do, but it's different for each person. Each person has to find peace with their hair loss, and for some people, a hair transplant may be the only way to do that. However, just because you get a hair transplant, does that automatically solve the problem for you from within or even on your head? Maybe it's not what you thought it was. And that's why I want to have an honest conversation about hair transplants and make this video the comments collector of that, because I'm always skeptical of advertisements. And we see billboards, we see commercials about hair transplant. It's going to make your life wonderful, and you can swim in a pool, and your girlfriend or wife waves her fingers through your hair, and you can drive down with the road with a convertible and the top down, and your hair, all those things, you know, all those emotional, sentimental advertising things that they mention there. But in reality, I want to hear from people who've actually had hair transplants. I want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly. If it went well and you're proud of it, and it's changed your life and it was everything you hoped it to be, I want to know about it. If it didn't quite go as well and there's problems that people aren't talking about and you're willing to talk about it. Maybe you got the hair transplant and it was fine for a couple years and then things started falling apart. I don't know. Any side effects we're not learning? I want this to be an honest conversation we can have about hair transplants. Here's what I'm assuming will happen. There's going to be people who say it's the greatest thing they did, and then people will say it's the worst. But that's what we want to do, kind of like Rotten Tomatoes. I want to make this video a Rotten Tomatoes of hair transplants. So, I'm hereby inviting anyone who's actually had a hair transplant, please tell us about your experience below. And by doing so, for years to come, people will be watching this video and looking at those comments and learning from that, whether it's good or bad, and then from there they can make their own decision. I'm curious to know myself, so go ahead. If you've had a hair transplant, tell us about it right there.